Can you control yourself for just a second?
I can't. I'm sorry. I can't. When I see that hat, when I see you, you have it's a good look. No, that's people are. It's pops. You really pop.
We're wasting time.
I'm ready. I'm ready to go. Go do it.
This is Two Old Men Waiting for the Apocalypse. On the East Coast, I'm Gary.
And I'm on the West Coast, and I'm Paul.
So what's new, Paul?
What's new, Paul, is that the world is a matter of images. It's what you project, as we project to all our audiences worldwide. And also, I wanted to just give a shout out to the inventor of the camera. Think about what the world would be if we could not record images. There would be no history except made up stories told around the campfire. But we have cameras. Even though you may laugh, this is a real camera. It's a Lego camera. It is literally sold by the Lego company, and it's made up of Legos, but it's actually a digital camera. This is real, look, digital. So I just wanted to thank all the cameramen out there, all the photojournalists, all the people that make images possible around the world, and especially to Eastman Kodak to set it all off more than 100 years ago when they began selling the first little Kodak cameras. So thank you. Thank you, image makers.
What about Mr. Daguerreotype?
It's French.
He was before Kodak, wasn't he?
French.
French doesn't count?
No, Mr. Daguerreotype, him was very, very important because there was different processes of developing film, first with metal plates and chemicals and all this kind of stuff. And it only took, a couple hundred years to get to digital, where we can take endless images. And by the way, Mr. East Coast, did you receive the images I sent you yesterday?
Yes, I did.
And I hadn't heard no comment about the luminosity of the moon and the feathery beauty of the little hummingbird.
I liked both those photos. The hummingbird was in focus. The moon was beautiful. I myself have had no success taking pictures of the moon, but you seem to do it effortlessly.
You have perhaps the largest stock of camera equipment on the East Coast. I have crappy cameras. The camera I use to take those pictures is like 13 years old and used twice from other people. You have all these wonderful lenses. You can take a wonderful tonight. Today is July 4th, whatever day it is, wherever else. But today is a lunar eclipse. A lunar eclipse that's visible on the East Coast starting at 11:07 p.m. And please, Mr. East Coast, go out on your deck with your cameras, set up a tripod, aim it at the moon, and set the ASA at around 400 f.56 and about a 400 to 600 shutter speed, and manually focus, and you should have some spectacular pictures.
Well, I've tried it on many occasions, but my moon photos just never turned out very good.
Well, keep on trying. I just set up my tripod and I turn all the little buttons, and I watch YouTube. Wonderful YouTube, by the way. Especially, I wanted to give a shout out to Mr. YouTube, who created Mr. YouTube, wherever you are, making us possible, and also the fact that I could click on my little phone and it tells me how to set up my camera in like 1 minute, and I did, and it worked.
You know, you don't have crappy cameras. You just are always dropping your cameras and breaking them.
No, I'm not dropping them. When you put a camera in a motorcycle tank bag and travel 100 miles bouncing up and down the freeways, cameras tend to disintegrate. So they served well, and I want to thank Mr. That guy for making it all possible.
I think I got up to 35 miles an hour once in my motorcycle. I don't think I ever got up to 100.
I have vivid memories of you on that beautiful red Ducati motorcycle. That was a wonderful experience.
Well, I have a photo of that. Maybe I'll put it on this video.
No, no. Everybody has to know that Mr. East Coast did buy a beautiful exotic Italian motorcycle fresh off the showroom floor and rode it around a potentially lethal environment of his neighborhood?
I got up early every Sunday morning and I rode around for about 5 minutes at about 7 a.m. And after a couple months, when my gas tank finally approached empty, I sold the motorcycle.
No. I don't believe you sold that motorcycle. I believe you traded it for a bathroom refurbishment. Is that correct?
Maybe it was a roof repair. I forget. But it was easier than taking it to the gas station and filling it up with gas. That seemed to be difficult for me.
But you did it. That was a good bucket list thing. You rode a motorcycle. You learned to ride a motorcycle, and you didn't die, which was kind of a surprise to all of us. But it's a great. It was. You did it. You did it.
Well, that's true. I didn't die. I hung around. So now
you hung around for this. You hung around for the pandemic.
I hung around for the pandemic. What a waste it would have been to die before the pandemic hit us.
Yeah, you would have missed all this.
I would have missed all this. There's nothing more exciting than waiting for the apocalypse.
Oh, let me see that shirt again.
Waiting for the apocalypse.
Is that your own design, by the way?
That's my own, well, not quite my own design, but sort of my own design.
And I don't want to violate any YouTube or Facebook or Google or whatever, but is it possible that sometime in the far distant future that such dramatically designed shirts could be available to our audience? It's a question. What?
No, this is one of a kind, waiting for the apocalypse.
So it's like you, one of a kind.
One of a kind.
Like you.
I'm not sharing my design with anybody. You want a waiting for the apocalypse t-shirt, go out and order your own.
Well, I'm just right now, somebody in Wuhan, China is copying that shirt because I saw it. Wait and see. You know, today.
Wuhan, you mean like in Wuhan virus?
Oh, I don't want to cast aspersions on a wonderful country that's given us so much and for so little for so long.
130,000 people dead. Couple $1 trillion worth of lost economic production. No summer in either Florida or Paris this year. They won't let us into France, and it's just too damn hot in Florida.
I told you about that France thing. That's why I kind of made that comment about Mr. De Guga. So listen, today on the news, the Border Patrol or Customs or somebody, guess what they discovered at the port of Long Beach in a Chinese ship?
What?
$5 million worth of fake Gucci and Instagram women's pajamas.
Damn, if you'd said men's pajamas, I would have got on the internet after this show and ordered one.
So China's not giving up. They're still sending crap over to us.
Hey, Gucci isn't crap.
No, it wasn't real Gucci. It was counterfeit. I'm trying to tell you, it's counterfeit.
I'm sure it looked just as good as the real stuff.
It did. Of course it does, because who knows who really makes the real stuff? Who knows?
I suspect Gucci orders it from China. I don't know.
Don't cast. Who is Gucci? And is Gucci French or Italian? Who are they?
I think Gucci's Italian.
Well, we don't have anything. The Italians just went through hell, and because of their friends in China. So let's not say anything bad about Gucci.
No casting aspersions on Gucci. Gucci.
Listen, don't.
Waiting for the apocalypse.
Don't cough too loudly. Don't cough on the microphone. Where's that thing? Get that cough thing. Get your cough thing up. You got to put your cough thing up. You don't want to spread anything.
I think this is the end, my friend.
No, we just started. It can't have the end. Stop. Go back.
That was a line from a famous Doors song just before what's his name overdosed.
Thank you. Listen. I found another use for this thing. It can be a fan. Did you know that? Instead of a spit guard, it can be a fan.
It's not a spit guard. It's a pop guard.
There you go. You just illustrated it perfectly. That's why I'm keeping this.
Pop.
Okay, listen. Everybody across the world wants to know what you had for breakfast. So what was it?
This morning for breakfast, I had a couple cups of coffee. I had some English muffin, a couple slices of sourdough bread with peanut butter and jelly, one bagel with cream cheese,
Jeez.
an egg omelet, 3-egg omelet,
What?
some thick sliced bacon, and I had some citrus fruit.
Is that all? I mean, I
and some orange juice.
You had citrus fruit and orange juice?
Well, I had to put my medicine, my potassium, in my orange juice, and I like my citrus fruit. I like the kind you buy that's already cut up and ready to eat. I hadn't had that for a while, but got some yesterday, and I've been looking forward to it.
Okay, so that sounds like what we call in California a power breakfast.
I may have eaten a little too much.
No, impossible. That's not. Why would anybody even think that?
Well, I don't know, but afterwards I felt rather full.
Yeah,
I had a tough night. I got to bed at midnight, woke up at 4, could not get back to sleep.
Well, I took a pill last night.
You took a pill?
Well, first time I've taken a pill in a long time.
What kind of pill?
An Aleve.
An Aleve?
Yeah.
So now you're addicted to painkillers.
Aleve.
Do you know who Jordan Peterson is?
Yes, I do.
You know he's come back from the dead?
He took an Aleve.
No, he took something a lot worse than Aleve. I can't even pronounce it, but...
No, I have no idea who you're talking about.
Oh, well, he's an internet sensation, a clinical psychologist that has been a real sensation. But a year ago, he became addicted to a type of prescribed antidepressant. And after just a couple of weeks, he was addicted, and he spent the last year trying to get over his addiction. Terrible pain.
What did he have pain from? What did he have pain from?
Well, one of the side effects of trying to get off the drug was some terrible, I can't pronounce that thing either, some terrible side effect which made you feel very uncomfortable, a lot of pain. Eventually, he tried several clinics in the United States and Canada, and then he went to Russia, found a clinic where no, it's not funny. Found a clinic where they put him in an induced coma for a week or two. And that was the last thing anyone had heard about him for months. And lately I've been thinking about that. He is very sane, intelligent voice. He's a very successful clinical psychologist who has no tolerance for political correctness and anti-science biology. And I was thinking how nice it would be during the pandemic and during all the protests. We had his commentary because he was all over the internet for several years. Wrote a couple best-selling books and emphasized constantly that people have to take responsibility for their lives. They want to be successful. And everyone just assumed he was either dying or dead. And all of a sudden yesterday on his daughter's podcast, she does a series of podcasts on diet because she has all sorts of allergy problems, very serious ones. And suddenly there he was being interviewed by his daughter alive. Didn't look real well, but at least alive, said he's finally off the antidepressant. He's finally licked it, but he didn't look good. And by the end of the interview, you could see he was really getting tired. But at least he's alive, and at least he's out of his coma. So maybe soon we'll be hearing from Jordan Peterson. He's revered in many circles and detested. Anything you want to say about aliens from outer space at this moment in time?
Did you receive my photograph that I took on September 2016, coincidentally during a lunar eclipse?
I did. And like every other photograph I've ever seen of UFOs and aliens, it was very, very out of focus.
You have this problem with everything having to be crystal clear. This was a photograph of some kind of vehicle that I saw floating over my head, which I took a photograph, several. That's only one photograph I took, I showed you, but I took several. That thing was bigger than 3 football fields. It made no sound, and it was seen, as I showed you, by other people across Los Angeles. And yet, no news about it at all. Not one flicker of news.
I apologize. You're not manic depressive. You're merely delusional.
See, that's what people say when they can't face the truth. It's too frightening. They come up with some sort of excuses. No, the earth is flat. You'll fall off. No, the earth is the center of the universe. Oh, no, there's only one galaxy and we're it, and we're in the middle.
The only thing I can say is that I've seen at least 1 million photos of UFOs, and every single one was out of focus, which has made me deeply suspicious about the whole project.
Okay, well, I don't want to talk about this anymore because it's like talking to people that like when the Spanish first came to someplace in America or whatever, the Native Americans came out, and you know what they saw? When the ships appeared in their little harbor, you know what they saw?
A very fuzzy photograph of a UFO.
No, they saw nothing.
Nothing?
Listen, this is a true story. When the ships arrived in this little harbor and the native Indians came out, the only person in the tribe that actually could see the images of these things that no one had ever seen before. They thought they were, they didn't, it was such a scary thing, so beyond their comprehension level, that literally the minds of the people blocked out the image. They did not physically see the ships. The only person to see the ships was their shaman, their holy man, who described it and told them what they were, and then they all ran away. This is a true story. This is in history. If you read it, they did not. Their minds could not accept because it was so strange. And that's the same thing with a lot of people. They cannot accept the fact that there are intelligence floating around us for who knows how long, and it's too frightening to accept. I'll tell you a story. 1958, August.
Is this going to be a long story?
No, I just want to tell you a personal experience of fear and panic in the face of the unknown. This, to cut the story short, and sometime I'll tell the whole story. We observed, my family and several other people were sitting along the ocean, and we observed these huge, I'm talking city-sized UFOs, city-sized. We're talking, these things are about 50 or 60 miles across, leave the surface of the moon. We watched this for 20 minutes. And my mother got up and started screaming and said, those are Air Force rockets. Those are Air Force rockets. And she ran away inside and wouldn't come out. This is a true story because it was so unsettling. For me, I was a 12-year-old kid. I just said, cool. Didn't even frighten me for 1 second.
I must be utterly honest and tell you that
no, don't be
in my
honest.
entire childhood, I never saw a single UFO.
Well, that's because you didn't see them.
My mother never ran screaming into the house.
That has nothing to do with my experience.
And my father never took a photo of a UFO.
Well, that they would tell you about. Because you might.
Okay, to change the subject, you got any plans for the 4th of July?
Is that today?
Tomorrow.
Are you sure?
Maybe it's today. I don't know. Depends.
Wait. No. That bothers me. That means I don't know what day it is, as usual. I thought today was July 4th.
That's the advantage of YouTube. It's whatever day you tell everyone it is.
Wait a minute. I'm looking at the thing. No. I don't know. No, seriously. Look at your cell phone because my cell phone's up. Is today? I thought today was July 4th. Look it up. Please look it up.
Today is July 3rd.
Crap. What happened? Why was yesterday July 3rd too?
Well, like I said, delusional.
That means I don't have to do my laundry until today. That's good.
Do you have any plans for the 4th of July? You're going to go out and celebrate with the other rioters?
My plan was.
You're going to set any public buildings on fire? Why don't you go downtown to what's the name of that avenue, Rodeo Avenue, and set fire to the Gucci store?
But they've already done that.
They've already done that.
They already did that.
Well, I live in the suburbs, so there are no Gucci stores near where I am.
Oh, God. Some people, yesterday they announced that the FBI, the CIA, the NBC, everybody is forming the
NBC
has formed these task units. They're going out as of yesterday, arresting looters. They have all these photographs. They started arresting all these people. They're taking them to jail, and I'm so grateful.
NBC is arresting looters?
Look, I don't know all the acronyms. I just made some names up. I know that.
Well, do you have a problem? Do you have a problem with the FBI arresting looters?
No, I'm for it. No,
I thought you were from the liberal West Coast.
No, there's no excuse. Criminal activity, there's no excuse for burning down a store, or no excuse for looting all the tennis shoes from Gucci because you're upset about some political situation. It's just,
I think you're thinking of Nike. I don't think Gucci makes shoes.
Well, they should.
Not tennis shoes.
Well, Nike,
okay.
No, you asked me.
All right. Time to say goodbye.
No, I haven't talked to my little friend yet.
Sorry, it's time to say goodbye.
Goodbye, audience. Goodbye.
This is Gary on the East Coast saying bye-bye.
And this is Paul on the West Coast saying